Hello! Today we're going to be making the square root of 13 on a number line. So, root 13. And to do that, we're going to be using Pythagoras' Theorem. And so what we're going to be looking for, this is the shortcut, we're looking for two perfect squares that either add up to give 13 or subtract to give 13. Okay, now perfect squares are, like 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, and so on, right? So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. So, and 6 squared is 36, and we keeps on going forever. But those are the perfect squares. So if I start with 1, right, like 1 plus 12 is equal to 13, but 12 is not a perfect square, so that doesn't work. Okay, 2 squared is 4, 4 plus 9 is 13, and 9 is a perfect square. Okay, so that totally works for us. So 4 plus 9 is equal to 13. Okay, and that tells us that, this is a perfect square, a squared. This is a perfect square, b squared, is equal to c squared. Right? We're using Pythagorean Theorem, although 13 is not a perfect square. But this is Pythagoras' Theorem. All right, that tells us that if a squared is 4, then a must be 2. And if b squared is 9, then b must be the square root of 9, which is 3. And if c squared is 13, then c must be the square root of 13. Okay, which is what we're after. And so we can make a nice right-angled triangle like this. Where this is our a side is 2, our b side is 3, and our c side, the hypotenuse, is root 13. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to construct this. We can, easily construct 3 on a number line and 2 on a number line, and that will give us our root 13, and then we can just use our compass to get it down onto the number line. Okay, so I'm going to make my 3, and do that. I want that to be pretty long, but I don't want it to be too long. I want it to be like long enough that, short enough that I can use my compass on it, right? If I make it too long, like it can reach, can't quite reach, well, 12 centimeters I think is the maximum length I can get to. And that's like with my 3. So if I make my 3 equal to 12 centimeters long, my root 13 is going to be longer than 12, and I won't be able to use my compass. So I'm going to make my 3, just in this example, 9 long. Okay, you can make it 6 long, just have to make it a nice multiple of 3. Okay, so I'm starting here at 0. So that's going to be my 1. Here, I'm just going to cut to the chase. Make a nice long line. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go further than I need to. I'm going to go up to 3 because I know that root 13 is going to fall between 3 and 4. It's going to be 3 point something something, right? Because 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and 13 is between 9 and 16, so the square root of 13 has to be between 3 and 4. Okay, so it's going to fall in here somewhere. All right, so now I want to make my vertical 2. All right, there's all kinds of different ways of making a vertical. If you want, you can make a perpendicular bisector off this line. That would be fun. I'm just going to use my ruler and set square. So just make sure your ruler is right on the line, exactly perfect, and use a set square so it comes through the 3. And you're going to make a line that's too high. Okay, just something like that. And then I'm just going to measure it so it's 2. Okay, now I could use my ruler. Now each one was exactly 3 centimeters, so it's going to be 6 centimeters. Oh, and I didn't go high enough. Look at that. Ooh. Okay. Then I'm going to make it the same length as my 2 down here. Now you can do that on the line, like that. But if you want to be really accurate, do it on your ruler. Okay, and that corresponds to the 6, and that's about right. So then I'm going to put my, so it's right here. Okay, or you could just use the ruler again and just measure your 6. It doesn't really matter. Okay, just get the 6 right on the line here, and there's my 2. then make your hypotenuse. Okay, so this is my 2, and this is my 3. And according to Pythagoras' theorem, or Pythagorean theorem, this must be root 13. Okay, so this length is root 13. So I'm going to put my compass point on 0, adjust it so the pen or the lead or whatever you're using goes through the end of the root 13. Like, I went too far there. Make a little arc just to make sure it's right. And then there's our root 13 right there. Okay. So square root of 13. All right, I'm just going to double check that using my handy dandy calculator. So 13 square root is 3.605, very, very close to 3.6, which makes sense. Okay, so if each of these is going to be, so 3.5 is here, yeah, so that makes sense. All right, and that's it for the square root of 13 on the number line. Have a good day.